originating from the podcast studio inside FAM 360's headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Above and Beyond Leadership Podcast. The Above and Beyond Leadership Podcast is designed to encourage, equip, and inspire our audience through a combination of inspirational stories and real-life experiences shared by other successful and skilled leaders in a variety of vocations. We hope that the Above and Beyond Leadership Podcast empowers each one of us to step out, step up, and ultimately thrive as leaders. Now here's our host, Mr. Matt Maloney.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Above and Beyond Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Matt Maloney. Today, we get the distinct pleasure of continuing the conversation with Miss Jackie Moore and from the Summer T-Shirt Project and the Be Kind to Everyone, what I call movement, if you will. Jackie, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm super excited to learn more about what you guys are doing at Be Kind to Everyone and some of your goals and kind of, mission for the future. Yep. For those of you listeners that missed the first episode, please go back, listen to the first episode. On the first episode, we learned about how this small little summer project for Jackie and Ben's daughter, Jordyn, has now blossomed into this incredible movement and business that's literally changing the world for so many people. We learned about their family. We learned about how they started this in the basement of their home, and they're now today in a 12,000 square foot warehouse building, and this has really flourished into a major business. And some of the things we're going to learn today is how they went from 40 t-shirts, which we talked about in the first episode, to now selling over 500,000 t-shirts since this has started. And you're selling about 2,000 a month right now. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. We went from the goal of 40 to 500,000 in 4 years. It's been amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Not every, in this example, not every, project becomes this business, which really has the ability and is doing things that are impacting and changing the world. Like, you're in a very unique position, very powerful messaging, and the things that where this, is going and can go is really special. When you look at it today, from where you've come from to where you're, then going into and actually building a business around this for Jordyn, and for, really the messaging and the things that you want to do. What do you look at in terms of today, and you look into the future? What is your mission? Like, is that come into focus? Like, I know what your initial mission was, but that's kind of evolved. What does that mission look like for the organization? And do you have some goals for this next year? Because I think it's important for our audience to kind of hear that and understand that.
Absolutely. So we know Jordyn's good. Like, if we stay where we're at, totally, she's good. Yep. But it's like you said, it's been a lot of hard work, but a huge blessing. And I mean, we could have never planned it even out to work the way it has. And the voice we've been given on social media, we have a lot of followers. When you combine our platforms, we're at close to 2 million followers. And so
2 million followers, wow,
gives us a very loud voice. And my goal is to continue and get better at using that voice to affect change for others, because I want to use our platform for people, for businesses, for whoever to look and say, wow, I never would have thought someone could do that. And so I show Jordyn using accommodations in our business all the time, how we break down skills so that way a teacher can see it, a business owner could see it.
No
and they're
doubt.
like, well, wait, we could have someone do this in our business. I share Jordyn's social experiences on our page. I want the youth today to realize people like Jordyn would crave some of these opportunities, because I think there's a lot of teens that would love to be a friend. They don't know how, they don't know what to do. And I want to use our platform as a voice to help them learn how. So like just this week's podcast of ours, I had one of Jordyn's teen friends on. We're doing it again next week. I want people to get ideas and realize just exactly the power just any individual has to create change. You know, one of the things we did recently was we got a connection with O'Charlie's, the restaurant.
Yeah.
And Corporate O'Charlie's took notice of us because if Jordyn loves something, everybody's going to know it. That's what she wants to talk about.
Yeah.
And food is the way to that girl's heart.
Yeah.
We laugh at how skinny she is because she talks about food all the time. So anyway, one day we were doing a TikTok and she was like, we had O'Charlie's for lunch. And she was so excited about it. Well, it got back to some people at Corporate O'Charlie's and they were so excited. So they reached out. They wanted to come.
Did they see it on
TikTok?
Yeah,
yep,
okay.
they did. So one of the regional managers and the manager of our local O'Charlie's reached out and said, hey, could we bring you guys lunch, talk to you? And I said, sure. So I get on my passionate speech of the need for individuals with disabilities and jobs.
Yeah.
And they were like, we really hadn't thought of some of this before. And it just became such an engaging conversation that then it went further. We did an event with them, but it was like literally developing those types of relationships to make companies start to realize if each company could have their Jordyn and their employees surround Jordyn and help them be successful, it does so much for the Jordyn in the company, but it does so much for everyone else in that company.
For the culture of the organization.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, this is one of the questions or topics I wanted to talk about today was, and I think it's a critical topic for business leaders, whether it's in, finance or whether it's in restaurant and retail or whether there is a tremendous untapped potential and opportunity that, and some organizations have really stepped up and done a really great job, but that we're not even thinking about. And you and I had a conversation briefly about it, and it resonated with me because there's several tasks and jobs within my company that I'm the CEO of that we have a hard time, honestly, staffing people for because it's repetitive tasks that like they're so critical, but they're just repetitive. And after a while, people are like, this isn't for me.
Exactly.
Right. And someone like Jordyn
would thrive in it.
In it. And I mean, it just opened my eyes to all these possibilities. So then my brain started going and I started thinking about, okay, I want to start planning this for next summer. I want to put together an internship program to bring in specifically, young adults with disabilities to come in, and then let's promote and have an opportunity to turn that into a full-time job for some of those people. I mean, so I've got the wheels
That's
turning.
amazing. And that's why I become so passionate. And I want to use my voice to get more CEOs, more managers thinking along those lines. Yeah. Because yes, Jordyn, not everybody, but Jordyn and a lot of individuals with autism thrive on repetition because it becomes familiar. They know what to do. They get good at it. So for her, she could sit at a restaurant and roll silverware all day and love it. But someone else would be like, oh, I've got to do this again. Yeah. And so in a world right now that it is hard to get employees,
no doubt,
you've got a wealth, of potential right there that is often being overlooked.
That's so good. That's so good. I think that if anything, I want to take that and long term, I want to have you back on, but I want to create like an opportunity to bring in some business leaders and talk about that and really put together a program, not only for my own company, but for others. I think this could be really, really big. I love it. I love it. This goes without saying, you're busy. You got a lot going on.
Yes.
So with so many like incredible things that you guys are doing, and with the summer t-shirt project and Be Kind to Everyone, how do you find time let's just talk about you and your family, maybe just even you and your husband, but how do you find time to have that kind of balance? I think that's important for people to understand.
It is. I agree. And it is funny. I say this occasionally on social media. I could care less if my house is a mess, if my hair hasn't been colored in months, but if my nails look bad, it has been a rough month at the Moore household. That's my trigger point.
That's your trigger point.
So your
nails look great, by the way.
Thank you. For me personally, for just my own mental health, I need to go get my nails done. And I don't know why that's my one
That's your thing,
but that's my thing.
Yeah.
So that is for me personally. But I think we're in the stage of life family time alone is downtime for me, and I thrive on it. I love it. As crazy as it sounds, we love spending a Sunday at the ballpark. And I think for our family, that is something I didn't know if we'd ever be able to do. For Jordyn to be able to go at a ball field from 8:30 in the morning until 9 at night and enjoy it.
Yeah.
That brings me so much joy. It fills Ben and I.
And you can see it. She loves it.
Yes. So for us, that fills our cup. We thrive on that. You know, we do the occasional date night, not near as often as we should because, you know, life gets busy, but we are also big on dinner time. Again, our whole life might be complete chaos, but we're going to sit down at the table, all four of us, pretty much every night and eat dinner together.
Oh, that's great.
That's my thing.
That's huge.
I love it. I just feel like it's so important. And we talk about what was good in Ben's day and my day and Hudson's and Jordyn's. It's just our time to come together. So even if the day is going off the rails in every direction, even if it's takeout, we're going to sit down together and we're going to eat it. So those are like, we don't have any magnificent, we're going to do this, but we have those daily checkpoints that just is good for us.
Well, it's on a prior podcast, I talked about it with a guest, and because I had asked him about his kind of work-life balance, and he's an author and doing some things, and he talked about it being rhythm. He goes, I don't really look at it as balance, right?
Yes.
Because there's too many things that can get out of balance. But he goes, I look at it more like a rhythm, and it's a life rhythm. There's certain things that I need in that rhythm, and because the day, the week, the months, they change. Things happen all the time, and so you can't constantly be balanced. Okay, so let's pivot for a second, just for fun. Yeah, just for fun. You find a genie in a bottle.
Okay, I've got it.
And you're granted 3 wishes. One wish is for your organization.
Okay.
1 wish is for you personally.
Okay.
Maybe it's about nails. I don't know. and 1 wish is for someone else. What do you wish for?
Oh man, that is tough.
That's tough.
You know, it's hard to make a wish for the company because, oh my goodness, it is just like, I feel like my wish has already been granted.
Yeah.
I walk
Every
in
day.
there and I'm like, this is unbelievable. So I guess for that though, it's more of the continued wish of success.
Yeah.
Because
the impact that you're having.
It's truly a success for our whole family. We're able to work together now.
It's amazing.
Jordyn has fulfillment. We're able to like give back to our community.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just need that brain power to like constantly be thinking ahead how, you know, because it's a lot of leadership on my part, you know.
No doubt.
Taking that next step. And so for me, it's that continuing to be able to do that next step to make our company grow and be successful for Jordyn's sake, for our whole family's sake, because we've now become like a family there even, our workers. We're just like one big happy family.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
I
beautiful.
realize that's kind of a lame one.
No, that's good. It's good.
It's just...
But it's the impact that you're having, right? And so this is really the beautiful thing about your organization and your mission. I mean, the mission is so rooted into so many good things, you know, across the globe and the communities where you guys are at. So the more that you continue to grow and flourish, the more impact you're having on people.
Yes.
And that's, I love that.
And to be able to see that impact, it's just, it never gets old. Like to hear these stories of people saying, my child did this because we got the idea from you. Like that's just an unbelievable feeling. And that's what I love and that's what I thrive on. Okay. What was my next wish?
For you personally, you gotta have something there for you personally.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, you're letting me see what I do to Ben on a regular basis. So I throw Ben curveballs in a podcast. He's like, Jackie, you can't do that. And I'm like, we can talk about anything.
I know Ben wants the questions. I told you I'm going to throw you in
I know.
Okay,
but you're testing me and I can do this. So I think for me personally, it would be the little bit better balance between work and life. I go full force into work. And when I say work, I also mean parenting. I do need a little bit better balance of maybe, do I really need to spend that morning at the shirt shop, or should I do XYZ instead? So I just need, my thing would be, I don't know, either to grant more hours in a day or to help me figure out how to better use them.
28 hours, not 24
It's a
hours.
genie in a bottle. So I don't see why that doesn't count.
You can
You've got
wish
to
it.
use
There
it
it is.
well.
That's a 28-hour day. You guys heard it right
Exactly, yes. And that 4 extra hours, though, is just complete enjoyment.
there. Yeah, complete fun enjoyment.
Yes.
I might take 2 hours and sleep a little more sometimes. I don't know. But just depends. Okay. Well, we'll stop there. It's for someone else as well, but
Well, the someone else is the easiest for me.
Tell me.
So I want to one day look back and see what we did completely created change for others. I want to be able to look back and see through our social media efforts, we literally created change for individuals with disabilities when it comes to social and work life. That is just very important to me. And so 20 years from now, I want to be able to say we did that and we helped all of these people because we opened eyes.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you actually just stole my last question, which was when it's all 20 years, 25 years down the road, when it's all said and done, you look back, what do you wish for? You just answered it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I got one more fun question.
Okay.
I like to call this the Michael J. Fox Back to the Future question.
Gotcha. Yep.
You get to hop in the DeLorean with Marty.
Yep.
You get to go back in time.
Yep.
And you get to talk to your younger self.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you have? Maybe it's your younger self right after, having Jordyn and realizing, hey, how do we deal with this with a child with autism? How does this look? Or maybe it's even younger.
Right.
But you go back in time. What kind of advice do you give yourself?
Yeah, I think I'm probably like most parents getting ready to have a child. Never in a million years do you think there's going to be any problems. Like
sure.
you're young, you don't think that.
Yeah.
And so when she was diagnosed with autism, I mean, it was devastating. You just, all those fears of, is she going to be able to do this? Is she going to be able to do that? And so I let that completely consume me for years. And you pull away kind of from friends because you no longer feel like you have anything in common with them. You really socially isolated. And I just completely became ingrained in therapies, and it was all very important. And I would do it again, but I would also change my mentality. When we moved to Georgia, we were driving around and I see tennis courts everywhere. And I was like, why are there so many tennis courts here? I didn't know people still played tennis. And come to find out, there's a huge tennis community. So when Jordyn went to public school, I threw myself into tennis because I love sports.
Yeah.
And I started getting to know people that didn't have a child with autism. And that changed my life because for an hour a day on that tennis court, I was someone other than a mom of a child with autism. Yeah. And what I wish is I'd have seen that all along. I just became so consumed with autism, I forgot to see the joys in life sometimes. And I was so busy focused on what Jordyn couldn't do and needed to do, I forgot to focus on, but she can do this. I learned to celebrate every success she had. I don't care how small it is. And I surrounded myself that would celebrate with me. And I learned it does not have to be someone that has a child with disability. They want to celebrate with you. They just need to understand it. And so once I started shifting that, my life became happier, my family's life, and Jordyn's. So I just wish I would have, we all wish we would have known what we know now.
Sure.
And I wish I would have realized that now. You've got to celebrate things. You can't always you can't wait for when things are going to be better in life because there's always going to be a problem. Everybody has them.
No doubt.
And so you have to make the best of what you have. Yeah. And I feel like that's what we did. And it just changed our whole life. It changed our whole perspective on everything.
Do you have any final advice for, I think, you're so, obviously you and Ben have done an incredible job with Jordyn and Hudson and then obviously the organization, but, someone who has a child with disabilities and specifically autism, it's helpful for them to hear what you just said. And, the freedom in being able to not necessarily just be kind of in this little kind of closed off silo, if you will,
Right.
and the things that you just talked about. But do you have any advice for someone who is maybe in the early stages of this process, right? And then that you might want to share with them?
I think it's absolutely critical to find that balance, but remember, you're not going to get everything done in that day. You're not going to get every, sound out of that child. And I would go to bed at night thinking, oh gosh, I should have asked her to say ball instead of just handing it. Like I just overanalyzed everything because I thought there was just this ticking time that if she couldn't speak by this day, she wasn't going to. And so for Jordyn, she did not speak until she was over the age of 6. And many professionals were starting to say, I don't know that she's going to be able to. And y'all have learned by now, I love to talk. And I just could not face that reality of having her never be able to say anything. And so when we moved to Atlanta, we found a speech therapist that literally taught her how to talk. And if you listen to her on social media now, you will know, you can instantly tell there's things different about her, but she can say what she loves. She can say all these things. And it is a miracle. And so I want parents that are in the really hard stages to realize they can continue getting better. Jordyn has made more progress from the ages of 19 to 21 than she did when she was younger.
Yeah.
There is not this window of opportunity, like they can just keep improving. So celebrate every little step along the way, because it's those little steps that you're one day going to look back on and be like, wow, how did we get here?
Yeah.
You forget how far they've come.
Well, that's great. Honestly, that's just great advice for all parents, right?
Yes.
And celebrating, and just in general, celebrating the small successes that you have in life and not being so, caught up in some of the obstacles and hurdles that we face each day, because there's going to be both every day.
Absolutely.
We're going to encounter both every day. So I have a quick surprise for you. It's not it's not a big surprise, but it's, with the FFAM 360 Alliance of Companies, who I'm the CEO of, and the Above and Beyond Leadership Podcast, we love to be able to support you guys. And I want to, there's two parts to this. One is, we'd like to place an order for 250 t-shirts.
Oh, that's incredible.
So we want to do that for you guys, and we don't need them fulfilled right away, but I want to be able to hand them out to family and friends and employees of ours and other people. And every year as an organization, we get behind a couple of different organizations. And when we look ahead to 2023, we would like to figure out with you, and we're not going to solve it today on this podcast.
Absolutely.
But we'd like to figure out with you how we can put together some community-based initiatives with you and whatever your goals are. So we're basically just going to be an extension to whatever you need us to do and help you kind of with your organization.
That's incredible.
Get my employees behind it. I mean, it's going to help change their lives and help you guys in whatever your mission is.
And that's where we're setting examples, because then we're going to have other companies looking at it and be like, hey, this would be great for our company. Yeah. That's where we're really going to have that ripple effect and create that meaningful change for so many. That's incredible.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about that. I was super excited to kind of share that with you today.
Thank you.
Well, let me wrap up by saying, look, I'm super thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for what you and Ben, and I'm thankful for what Jordyn and Hudson and just what you guys are doing, how God has really just poured out into you guys, and really just he keeps motivating you to keep making change in the world. So thank you for what you guys are doing, and thank you for responding to that calling, because it is obviously making a massive impact. So for those of you that want to learn more about the Summer T-shirt project and Be Kind to Everyone, and just learn more about Jackie and their family, you can go to their website at bekindtoeveryone.com or www.bekindtoeveryone.com. You can also check them out on any social media at summershirtproject.com, right? Or just really just at Summer Shirt. Just at Summer Shirt. At Summer Shirt Project. Yeah. I can't wait to see and hear what you guys accomplish in the new year and where things are going. I know it's going to be incredible. So let me close with this. It's a quote from Helen Keller. It says, "Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement, and nothing can be done without hope and confidence." Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thanks.
To To all our subscribers out in podcast land, thanks again for joining. I hope today's episode was both empowering and inspirational. And until next time, I hope our daily journeys are filled with opportunity to lift others up as we aim to go above and beyond. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Our executive producer and host is Matt Maloney, President and CEO of FAM360. Strategic Communication Coordinator, Michelle Decato. Production assistance by Tin Dog Studios. Director, John Broland. Creative Assistant, Whitney Broland. Theme song, Connecting Dots by Curtis Cole, provided by Artlist. Please subscribe today and don't miss any of our weekly episodes.